That's what it's called. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're an unknown factor, so you can't even like make any predictions on it at all. There is no way you can predict anything about it. So you can sit there and go like, "Oh, they're gonna suck," or "Oh, yeah." You don't know.
Well, in the 3 year cycle, yeah, I mean it's going to give each studio more time, um, but
I think that's
there
another
are
way people.
benefits. There are certain benefits to that, but there are certain disadvantages, and I think it's going to give them more time to work on more DLC. I think that's going to be a big part of it, but it's like any kind of project that you work on. If you give somebody more time to work on a project, they're going to use that time, and it's not necessarily going to be that much better. I mean, you're going to have the same budget, or it may even be less of a budget. We don't know. But I think the benefit of them going with a 3 year cycle, I think they were looking more on the DLC side, so that instead of having to, as soon as you release your game, I mean, you guys start thinking about development for the next one because you've got 2 years, right, to bring out the next game, but you still have all this DLC to worry about during that year that that game's been released in. So I think one of the things that they wanted to look at is more DLC for the COD games. But like I said, again, a 3 year cycle, I don't think necessarily directly equates to a much better game, in my opinion.
No, oh, I agree. You could have the longest um, cycle to do anything, and it could still come out crap.
Hmm.
I'm going to give you the prime example: the last Duke Nukem game. That game was in development for years, and it was probably one of the biggest travesties that ever came out in a long time
How bad
because
was
of the
that
fact that
game?
it was hyped up further. Well, it was because they never really improved, like because it had been in development for so long. It was running on like old engine, and it
Mm,
didn't look that great, and it was a mess.
mm,
So it wasn't like I didn't think it wasn't completely horrible,
hmm.
but it was because it had been hyped up and going for so long. There was no way it was ever going to meet expectations, and it actually went underneath most people's expectations.
Mm. I'd like to see, like, I don't think this would ever happen, but somebody asked about COD Online, and I think Titanfall would have been a good application for this. But I think both those games, like COD Online, from whoa, I'm getting some feedback from something.
Hmm, weird.
Can you hear that?
No?
Oh, all right. Um, COD Online is under an NDA, so I can't really talk about it much. But I think a free to play COD like that, and Titanfall would have been an excellent application of a free to play game. Imagine Titanfall free to play, where you could purchase and they'll have in game purchases, right? Obviously, like maybe mech skins, character skins, like your burn cards could be purchasable items, right? I mean that would have been a great application for a free to play game that is not just a yearly or bi-yearly release. It's something that they continually support and provide new content for on an ongoing basis, and that's similar to COD Online. Imagine COD Online and it, playing as great or better than what Ghost is playing right now, and they're just throwing in map after map after map. Maybe some of them are microtransactions and you got to pay for them, but imagine COD 4 maps and Modern Warfare 2 maps combined with Black Ops maps and Black Ops 2 maps, or even World at War maps, having all those maps being brought into that game, and it just being continually supported for years, I think would be a great application. But
Yeah.
I don't think they do that because they have this yearly release game. They release in China. Do I think COD Online is going to be coming elsewhere? I don't think so, because I think it would cut into what they have right now with their yearly releases of COD. And I know Respawn said, "Oh, there will be no microtransactions in Titanfall." Number one, it's not up to them; it's up to EA, and EA is all over these microtransactions. Not saying it'll happen. Not
But
saying it'll happen, but I don't think Respawn can guarantee anything having to do with that sort of thing with the game, especially when they thought that they weren't going to be console exclusive or exclusive anything, and then EA makes this deal with Microsoft, right? I'm just saying that Titanfall could have been made into a completely free-to-play game. And I think that's, Destiny, I don't know if Destiny is going to be free-to-play or not. But Destiny and looking at PlanetSide 2, and I've said this before on streams, that I think that is where games could be going. I mean, you want bigger maps? People, well, I want bigger maps in COD, and so they go to Battlefield. Pfft. Look at PlanetSide 2. You want to get a bigger map? Are you crazy? You want to get more players? Look at that game.
It's just the landscape.
Yeah. And having that continual support of adding content and adding things to do in game and driving players to do those things, I think is really good. So I don't know. I think those kinds of games are kind of the future. Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh.
No, I totally agree.
So that's why I'm kind of looking forward to Destiny. Now, Destiny isn't free to play, but again, it's one of those games, though. Okay, so you purchase it. I don't know what their model is for
DLC and stuff.
Yeah, but again, it's kind of like open world. It's like an FPS MMO almost, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all like. I'm very curious about what's going to happen in the next couple of years with gaming, just simply because of things like Destiny, things like The Division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Division too.
Yeah, these games are coming, and they're probably going to be interesting concepts. I mean, even things like Watch Dogs is even adding a kind of interesting aspect to even just the multiplayer side. The fact that you can just merge into somebody else's game. They don't even know you've entered it.
Mm.
You can run about, and if you find the other player, you can hack them. And it's little things like that. Like they're pushing multiplayer in all these new and interesting directions.
Mm-hmm.
And with the advent of free play becoming a hell of a lot more bigger over the last few years. I mean, hell, even Harmonix is getting in on it. Like they just announced Chroma the other day. Their music-based FPS game. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be like, but it's that's free to play. It's coming on Steam with free play. So I don't even know how that's going to work. But they state it in the notes that it's free to play but not pay to win. So I don't know. It's just I'm very curious of the next, say, 2 or 3 years of gaming, because it's just, especially with the advent of the new generation consoles. What the great thing about new generation consoles. It means developers can start pushing games on the PC even further again. Because a lot of them get held back because of the consoles, because they're trying to multi-platform them.
Mm-hmm.
So things like, they hold things a little bit back, just so they're not having to work as hard to port it to a console. Now the consoles are kind of up the same sort of level as PC. They're now, even though PC's pushing ahead already.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I'm really they're just, all these things they're starting to push the boundaries with. I mean, I remember watching Toy Story years ago. Like the first Toy Story. And I used to think, I would love if games would look like this. Like video games. And that's like Toy Story 1, that I was still in school when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So to come this far and now games do actually look like that. Like you look at things like Knack and Octodad and stuff like that. It blows me away to think that I was thinking that 15 whatever many years ago, thinking I would love games that look like this, and it's basically come to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very happy with the way things are looking.
Just respond to a comment. Yeah, Respawn is making the game. EA is their publisher. If EA wants to make more money off the game, they'll do it. Who do you think?
Oh.
Who do you think are the ones that actually went with Microsoft / PC exclusivity? It was EA. It was EA's decision. If they want to monetize the game more, they'll do it. And Respawn doesn't have a choice. Doesn't matter that they're making the game. EA will just say, "Look, we're doing micros. Make it happen."
The long-term thing with, oh my god,
Yeah, Evolve does look awesome. I'm looking forward to that game actually.
the the be all and end all, like EA, you're saying like, yeah, fair enough, they're all over microtransactions, but you look at their last kind of big releases on consoles, like the Battlefield 4 didn't involve microtransactions. Not one. There's not a single microtransaction in that game.
Well, they were
Even
going
though,
to implement them with the
yeah,
battle
but
packs.
yeah, but
Then they didn't, right?
yeah. Well, I was saying that to Jimmy the other day, and he described them perfectly. They were like battle packs. Now they're apology packs.
Yeah. Well,
Or
exactly.
sorry.
But the
Yeah.
intent was for them to do that. If the game had launched successfully and they weren't having all the issues they had, those would be purchasable items,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, it's one of these things. I mean, they're no. I know we have openly admitted to pushing this microtransaction thing. And I don't disagree with microtransactions too. It just depends on what they're for.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I'm definitely the same way.
Like the thing is, like with like even if they were in Battlefield 4, and even if they were in Battlefield, I wouldn't complain about them because you're not held back in any way.
Hmm.
You get basically in battle packs, you'll get like a different looking silencer, but you can still always unlock a silencer for the gun.
Hmm.
There's very few kind of, and there's like grips that do something similar to other grips. So it's not you're not there's nothing that would have made a weapon more powerful in any real way. It's just the look of the weapon changes. It basically is cosmetic DLC in a long term way.
Yeah, I mean
So,
they have with Battlefield they've done that where you have like the shortcut packs and stuff like that. I mean
well,
they're
yeah.
they're giving away some free ones now, but I mean they got to do everything they can
Oh,
to
they're on
keep.
damage control
Yeah,
now.
they're on damage control, so yeah they want to keep the players. We just got a new donation from a wee panda, so
I
thank
know
you,
that now. Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Thank you very much. It's
Yeah,
great in the names I recognize. That's why I like because I especially it sounds horrible, but when you play zombies, we draw in a bigger crowd,
hmm
and it's great to see people that are donating it, and it's people I recognize. So it's the
yeah,
regular crowd.
yeah. No, it's awesome.
But yeah,
Um,
no, I've no real issues with the microtransactions at all.
How do you know I'm in shorts? Because you saw my leg. Um, yeah, but look at just you got to look at EA and I haven't played this game, but there's a game called Dungeon Keeper,
No,
and yeah, just what everything I've read, like people are just berating it, like 1 out of 10, basically, because if you want to do anything, it's like you got to pay,
yeah,
basically, or wait for like a day to do anything. So
yeah. I have no issue. Like I don't care, right? If they want to put time saver packs out for games and like if people want to use them, if they want to use them, let them buy them. I mean,
mm,
especially like the Battlefield time saver packs. I remember there was one for unlocking everything. I think it was pretty much all the vehicles and all the weapons, and
yeah,
it was basically the same price as the game again.
mm,
So if you're willing to pay the price of the game again just to unlock stuff, the lazy way, just because you can't, it, it suits people that aren't like us that are playing games constantly.
yeah. But I think it sucks in a way. Like I mean,
I
does it,
know, I
you know what I mean? Like you're going up against somebody that, let's say you're a month into the game and you're working on your unlocks, and then they release that, and you're going up against another guy who's like level 3, and he's got freaking everything unlocked. Like what the hell?
I know, but I don't know. Like you say that, but you've got to remember, like these like lower levels, map knowledge is still a huge factor to any game.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter how good your gun is, map knowledge still beats. Also, if somebody's coming in brand new to the game and buying all the unlocking everything straight away, they're still gonna suck.
Well, it
For
doesn't. It's yeah, but it's not a point of them sucking or not. It's just like yeah, I've worked hundreds of hours to unlock everything, and then oh, this guy just
well,
comes
I
in and fucking buys everything. You know?
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going with it was the same with um it's like these car games like Forza and like Gran Turismo. They did the same thing for cars. You could work in game and just get the credits over time,
Mm-hmm.
or you could just pay real world money and buy them straight away.
Mm.
And it's totally it's again it's most microtransactions are completely optional. Like EA's, like the ones they implemented in Mass Effect 3, the same thing. It was completely optional. You could pay real world money to get packs early,
Mm-hmm.
like the packs, or you could play like 10 games and get real in-game stuff and buy it that way. So they're just any it's like any other free to play thing,
Mm.
like Clash of Clans. They're working on your impatience,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's it. It's just people that are either impatient or don't have the time.
What was the game? Is it World of Warcraft that I read that you can purchase? You can boost your character to max level for $60, like level 90. I don't know if it was World of Warcraft or not.
I think that might have been Lord of the Rings for some reason.
I think it was. I don't know.
I don't think it's World of Warcraft because they've got that subscription scheme.
Yeah, I know. But you can
where
still pay $60 to get max level character. I don't know. I thought it was World of Warcraft, but we'll see.
I've got this weird feeling it may have been Lord of the Rings Online.
Mm.
I remember when I played it like for a night with Sully, and
Mm.
for some reason there's something sticking in my head about it
Mm.
being able, like there was you could pay. Oh, you had to. It was a monthly subscription to get levels or something like. I can't remember those. So was it
Really?
Guild Wars? That's what
I don't know.
I know. But these MMOs are on a tough. Yeah, that's it. People saying Guild Wars, but it's on a totally different level. Yeah, and then you can go to like eBay and actually buy characters
Really?
for
Is that
just
against the terms of service of
it's
the
against the
game?
terms and services. But if you basically don't get caught,
Oh, yeah.
there's a person when I drove taxis years ago, I actually spoke to a person that she actually made a living doing that.
Really?
Yeah,
So she levels characters and then sells them, basically.
she would level. Basically, she would actually take orders,
Mm-hmm.
so people could ask for a specific build,
Mm-hmm.
and she would just grind like 10 hours a day, boom, 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 and just work. That was her job. She would just grind for like 10 hours a day, play the game all day, and just unlock like do that, and that'd be it.
Wow.
And then she'd sell it, and that. But as I say, it's totally against their rules.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Diablo. It was like Diablo 2. People were selling stuff offline.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why they implemented the
The reward auction house, and then
yeah.
yeah,
Then they got rid of it, or they're getting rid of it.
yeah. Oh, March, next month, when the DLC comes out.
What part do you think the Oculus has in future COD games? Like zero part? I don't know.
Or the Oculus Rift.
That is, I mean, I get VR, but honestly, do you think I'm gonna sit here and play freaking COD with this stupid helmet on?
I honestly like Sony released a headset,
Mm-hmm.
like an eye set that I actually tried on,
Mm-hmm.
and they were fairly comfortable. It was like what I think what was it? It was like you still got 5.1 surround sound, which is obviously virtual surround sound, but it was 5.1, and it was like watching a 40-inch screen at 2 meters,
Mm-hmm.
and they were 3D enabled,
Hmm.
and it was just well because it's 3D enabled easier because you're already looking at two different screens, so it's easier because that's the whole point of the glasses that just mixes the images. So having two different screens actually eases that purpose. But whatever. These were actually pretty comfortable.
Mhm.
But I would honestly would enjoy playing a game on them, like a proper first person game.
Mhm.
But all I kept thinking was sitting there playing something like Outlast. Somebody walks in the room, you can't hear them because you've got the blaring sound on your headset, and you can't see them because your eyes are covered with the game.
Mhm.
Could you imagine how fucking scared you would be if they tapped you on the shoulder?
Yeah, yeah.
That would be the end of that
Yeah.
headset.
I don't. Yeah. When I don't know what price point do they think they're coming in at? I don't know the price point of these things either. So
Yeah,
I guess it all depends on the price point. I mean, if it's
yeah.
going to be overly expensive, then I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I just. I don't know. I don't know if I could see myself playing with one of those on.
Well, I can get the Sony one, the one that I tried on for £500. So you're talking like,
Jesus.
but yeah, but you say that £500. Some TVs cost that.
No, I know that, but
So I
it's
know,
a
but
big difference.
it's one of the kind of things. It gives you a personal experience. Like I would love to try it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of impractical for our kind of business.
Mm-hmm.
But see if I was more of a like back in the day before YouTube and things like that, where I was really just into the games and just had fun with them, it would
Yeah.
be fantastic.
Hmm.
It'd just be really weird. Like I mean, you could still. I mean, it's HDMI. You could still basically play it like that because you'd be running it through your PVR.
Mm-hmm.
Just the HDMI goes to the headset.
Yeah, we'll see what we'll see how
That'd be
much
funny,
it'll
actually.
cost. Yeah.
That'd be so funny watching you on stream. The camera just
Bumping into the mic.
can't reach
Yeah.
Shaq
Yeah.
completely.
We'll see. I mean, who knows? Even if they come out with one, I might. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I remember they came. It was Nvidia came out with a set as well a while years ago.
Yeah.
Nvidia are weird. They come out with some. They had. Oh, what did they come out? It was no, was it Nvidia? I can't remember. There was a sensor bar. It was like having a band around your head that actually did read your thoughts. So you could actually think, fire your gun.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even joking. This was sold. This was 100% sold. You could buy it out of a regular store. It wasn't like a joke on a website. It was actually in a store. And it was basically you had to just train your mind and it would just measure the electrical impulses at the right place.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. But you think about it. I mean, how fast you think of a process first before actually pulling the trigger. I need hold on, I need to look for it. But yeah, honestly, I swear to God that was a real thing.
You guys making fun of my leg?
Get some tan on him. He lives in Canada.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, somebody made a comment about getting motion sickness, having
Yeah,
that thing on your head. That'd be one thing that it's kind of like 3D. The whole 3D fad has kind of gone away a little bit because, I mean, not everybody can sit there for hours on end and watch 3D. I mean, there's so much stuff going on and you're just processing it. I mean, it's almost like it's exhausting playing. Imagine playing, COD multiplayer in 3D. That'd be crazy. Like you just get so exhausted. So,
yeah, I do agree. I mean, it'd just be sitting there. Um, as I said, they were comfortable for the short period of time I used them,
hmm
but eventually it was kind of like I could imagine them just being like, "Oh my God," just because they're obviously resting on the bridge of your nose.
hmm
And obviously most of the weight is there because that's where the screens are. You could just imagine it just slowly but surely just breaking down the bridge of your nose.
hmm All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it. What? You want me to time you out? All right. There you go. No, you want me to time you out? I'll time you out. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm yawning in front of you guys, so I don't want to have to. I don't want to do that. But thanks for watching, guys, and again, thanks for all the new subscribers and all the new donators. Really, really appreciate that. And we'll be back tomorrow. Okay,
Hmm.
so don't go too far. Always have
Don't I?
that stream page up, so when we go online and you start hearing our voice, it's like, what the hell's going on?
In
Yeah,
fact, just don't leave. Just keep
yeah.
chatting.
Stay here. What, me?
No, yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah. You just sit there. Just
yeah,
keep the webcam on.
yeah,
The 24-hour stream begins now.
yeah. And there's my empty chair.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm in bed. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.